This week's video is sponsored by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform to build your perfect website. Hello and welcome to the southwest coast of Pembrokeshire, and I'm here for an evening of coastal photography at this amazing location. We've got these incredible red rocks jutting out of the sand. We've got some big surf today, and as you might be able to hear, it's very, very blustery. We've also got some nice light as well, which is quite a good mixture, I feel, for coastal photography. So as you can see, I've got the OM-1 Mark II with me today, and I've got the 50-200 f2.8 attached at the moment because that's letting me get down here nice and tight into some of these details at the bottom of this cove. Now this camera's got some features that I think are going to be really good for today's shoot, so we're trying out those throughout the video. Anyway, yeah, let's get into this shot because I think it looks pretty dramatic down there. It's so blustery up here, it really is. But I've got my first shot set up now. I'm looking straight down towards the back of this cove where we've got this amazing red vertical strata that reaches up out of the pebbles towards the green cliff tops there, and it looks just absolutely lovely. The light's catching it a treat as well. I think it looks really nice. Now I'm using, that's why it's so windy up here, I'm using one of the OM-1 Mark II's built-in computational features, and that is the live ND, and that's allowing me to get a slow shutter speed to show some motion within the water, which I think works really well against these very, very sharp angular rock faces that we have there. So it just softens the scene a little bit. I'll explain a little bit more about the computational features that I'm using today a bit further on down the cove when we get out of the wind, but for now I'm going to take this shot. So I was just wandering down the coastal path when I stumbled across this red stone wall we've got here and these amazing green plants that are growing out of it. They just caught my eye and I thought, hey, why not grab a quick shot? Now this one in particular has caught my eye because there's a couple of cracks that run through it, and I think they really add to the composition. So I think I might just grab my tripod so I can really fine tune my composition and see if we can make an image here. Then we'll move on down to the cove. Well, I've probably spent way too long on this shot. It's actually been quite difficult to frame up. I've really paid attention to how these diagonals run through the actual shot and where they meet the plant itself. I've also put a circular polarizer on to try and take some of the reflections off, because the light's coming through from this side and it's just catching those leaves, and because they're quite glossy it's really reflecting the light. So the circular polarizer helps to take that reflection off and just helps to saturate those colours in the greens as well. So that does work really well. But yeah, quite a simple minimalist frame, and I've really focused in on placing the plant in the bottom third, so it yeah, just gives it some breathing space, and just being very mindful about where the diagonal runs. I didn't want it to run in the corner. I wanted a pretty even gap to where it run into each side of the frame as well, so it didn't feel awkward, just to give it a more calm feel. So yeah, let's grab this one now, and then we'll move on, get down to that cove. This place is absolutely beautiful. I think going back to that last photograph, you know, when you're out with your camera, if something catches your eye, I think you just got to roll with it, haven't you? Just put a bit of time into it and enjoy the moment. It doesn't necessarily have to be an epic vista every single time, does it, to enjoy taking the photograph? And I think that's probably the most important part of outdoor photography, at least for me anyway. So as mentioned, the OM-1 Mark II has some computational features that allow you to lengthen your shutter speed, or at least simulate lengthening your shutter speed think that's probably a key thing to point out, because what it's doing is it's blending multiple images together to create a long exposure effect. And you can choose from a number of different ND strengths to apply to your image. And it works very, very well. I've tested it out in a few different scenarios now, and it's given me almost exactly the same results as using an ND filter. So it just saves you having to take your ND filters along with you. Maybe if you're on a long hike or something like that, or maybe you're just out with your camera and you don't want to take a big bag full of stuff. It can be very, very helpful indeed. Now, one thing I have noticed with the OM-1 Mark II is that sometimes you have to stop the aperture down quite a bit to make sure you don't overexpose the image. So back up on the top there, when we were shooting with the telephoto lens, I was having to stop the aperture down to f11, which is not something that I would normally do on a micro four thirds camera. Usually I'm shooting around about f5.6, something like that, for a nice sharp depth of field throughout my image. So yeah, that's one thing you have to bear in mind. But what I have noticed is diffraction isn't, or it doesn't at least appear to be, so significant on this camera, or at least with these lenses, should I say, than other lenses I've tried in the past. So yeah, it's quite an interesting feature, I think. Now, before we get down to this cove and take some more photographs, I'd just like to thank the sponsor of this week's video, which is Squarespace. So this morning I've been updating some of my photo galleries on my website, and it's something I try to do every single week. Unfortunately, it's really easy to do using Squarespace. It's just a case of dragging and dropping your images and rearranging them so they look nice in the gallery. Now, if you're unsure what Squarespace is, it's basically an online platform where you build your own website. They've got loads of amazing templates to choose from to get you started, and also tools to help you create something more unique as well. Now, it's not just photo galleries. You can set up a blog, an online store, or even a private members site like mine, which is called the Photographer's Clubhouse. If you'd like to give it a try yourself and build your very own website, head over to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch your site, go to squarespace.com/IANWORTH to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Please do go and check them out. I highly recommend it. The links are down below, and clicking them really does help to support this channel as well. Anyway, let's get on down to the cove. Well, it's a bit of a scramble, but it's all good. So this cove is a little tricky to shoot. I think this is my third visit here, and I've been wanting to get right down the end there for some time, and I've just never managed to time the tide quite right. Today's tide's a 3 meter tide, and it's just turning now. 4:30 is low, so yeah, I still can't get round. So really I need to approach this probably at around about 1 meter, so it needs to be a very, very low tide. So yeah, but anyway, I've perched up here on the rocks. I'm taking a shot of this massive rock slab just here, which is absolutely incredible. Now, the biggest problem I'm having is the light at the minute. It's incredibly harsh, and I feel as the light drops down past the cliff behind me, all of a sudden we're going to get this dark line running up these cliff faces here of the shadow, which I don't think is going to look great. So if I'm going to take this photo, I really need to take it now, I think, while there's light on it. But it's incredibly harsh and very, very contrasty. But I'm going to give it a go anyway, because this camera has a little bit of a trick up its sleeve when it comes to difficult lighting situations, and that is the live graduated ND. So similar to before, where we were able to get a long exposure using the ND filter, the computational ND filter. Now what we can do with the graduated one is drag down over the top of our LCD screen and darken just a part of the screen, which is really cool. It works in just the same way that you would physically slide a graduated ND filter over the lens, but this is just doing it computationally, which is pretty cool. So yeah, again, it's taking multiple images and then blending those images together, but you're getting a raw file, so it's fantastic, really. So that's what I'm trying, and we'll see if it works. Yeah, it's all about experimentation, and I think that's one of the key things with this camera. It lets you be really, really creative without having to carry lots of different accessories with you. So yeah, it's fun, isn't it? Right, let's get this set up. Well, I was struggling a little bit there, but the light's beautiful back that way, so I think what I'm going to try and do is head down here, maybe scramble up over the rocks over there and see if I can get a better look down the beach and maybe make a few more sort of long exposures. Now I've got to be really careful over these rocks, because if I slip and fall here, nobody is going to rescue me. So I think I've got a better vantage point just here, but I really do have to keep my eye on the tide, because there's only one way out of here. I don't really want to be spending the night sat up here. So yeah, let's take a shot. This looks amazing. The light is absolutely beautiful. I've probably only got maybe 5 minutes before this is all in shadow. So let's get a wiggle on. So it's been a bit of a scramble to try to get this shot to work out. Initially I was going wide, incorporating some of this big rock slab here on the left hand side, which is catching the light beautifully. So I grabbed a wide shot, which I'll put up on the screen for you in a second. But now I'm zooming in a little bit more, just trying to pick out some of the details and the distant cliff faces as well, which looks absolutely lovely. The light is fantastic right now. A beautiful gold colour that's really accentuating the colours and the tones back there beautifully, I think. One thing we don't have is a lot of cloud detail, but the colours I think make up for it. It's just absolutely beautiful. Really soft, warm, golden light, which just really helps to lift the colours and tones of these rocks down here. Just beautiful. So again, I'm using the ND filter. I've got a 1 second exposure on here at the minute, and that's just allowing me to show some movement in the water. Otherwise it's just a little bit texture heavy. These rocks are very sharp, so I just think a little bit of movement in the water really helps to just bring the scene to life a little bit and just add a little sense of calm to the image as well. I'm standing on a bit of a funny angle. This rock here is sloping, so I'm kind of leaning over to the left, which isn't ideal. Not great for the back, but anyway, let's take another one. Right, I think it's time to move. This tide is coming in quite rapidly now. Well, I think we're going to have to make a run for it, because the tide is coming in pretty fast. Oh. So I had to make a quick dash for it then. I nearly got wet feet, but what an absolutely incredible place this is. Every time I come here, it just blows my mind. The possibilities are just endless. I don't think I really made the best of it today. Would have been great to get a bit further down the cove, so definitely be another visit at some point in the future. So before I leave you, I just want to share my thoughts on the computational features that are built into the OM-1 Mark II. And you know what? I think they are fantastic, and I really embrace this newer technology. I think it's fantastic. I think they should be implemented in all cameras going forward. I really do think this technology is pushing the boundaries of what's possible with a mirrorless camera. And yeah, the more creative tools we've got, the more things we can experiment with. And I think it's a fantastic thing, I really do. Now, I did learn a little bit about the live graduated ND filter today that I hadn't really thought about before, because before when I used it, I was thinking this is not really working for me, because I was shooting a Vista and it had a lot of moving foliage in it and it was quite windy. So when I dragged the live graduated ND over the image, it was doing what I wanted it to do in the sky. It was darkening the sky down, but because it was taking multiple images, it was showing movement and motion in all of the rest of the scene, which I didn't really like. So I'd kind of written it off. But then coming down to the coast, sometimes you want to show movement and motion within things that are moving, especially like waves. So yeah, and I think as well with a graduated ND filter, they're much more useful at the coast when you have a very level horizon. So yeah, I think it's definitely a tool I would use more at the coast than perhaps if I was shooting something that got foliage in it, especially if it was moving, and usually it is, isn't it? So yeah, just a few thoughts. Anyway, it's time for me to make my way back up this very steep staircase back to the van. I do hope you enjoyed this week's episode. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. I'm not sure whether the images came out that well or not, but it was fun trying nonetheless. So yeah, if you're interested in checking out more of my videos, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. I've noticed actually only a very small percentage of the people that watch my videos are actually subscribed. And subscribing really just means that my videos will show up in your home feed when I release them, and I release them every single week. So yeah, if you do feel like supporting the channel, it's probably the best way of doing it. It just sends out signals to the algorithms and all of that good stuff that, you know, my channel's worth watching basically. So yeah, I do appreciate that in advance. Anyway, I'm going to sign off while I can still talk. Anyway, take care and I hope to see you again next week.